what we did see was the Scottish Prison Service carry out their review, and we've seen them come to a conclusion, the correct conclusion, that a rapist should never be allowed to serve in a female prison alongside other females. Personally, I believe it was a mistake in the first place for that person to be placed in a female prison, Cottonvale in Scotland. They are going to be doing a review of how that came about, and I would certainly expect the outcome of that review should mean that that situation should never arise again. Women were concerned, women had a right to be concerned, and I was concerned as well when I seen this. I don't think anyone in their mind would be. So absolutely, I'm glad there's a review taking place, and I hope the outcome of that will be that situation should never arise again.
However, and I take your point, Austin, if trans women rapists are not accommodated in female prisons, that is the Scottish Government saying they're not women. Can we confirm that? They're not women because they don't go to a women's prison?
Well, the way that I would view it is if you commit a crime as a man, such as rape, sexual assault, then that is the way that crime should be punished. That's the way it should be treated. I think that would be fairly reasonable to have, and for those to proceed. In terms of how these prisoners, are managed when they first enter the prison service, it should be noted that this person was isolated in isolation. They had no access to any other prisoners. Any prisoners that are sent to prison for crimes such as rape or sexual assault, they are always isolated until a risk assessment is carried out. The risk assessment takes into account three main points: the risk to that prisoner, the risk to other prisoners, and the risk to prison staff. The Scottish Prison Service are very good at generally carrying out these assessments, and more often than not come to the correct conclusion.
We also are hearing stories of a sex attacker that's accommodated in a women's prison that identifies as a baby and wears a nappy. Nicola Sturgeon's lost control of the country, hasn't she?
Well, that's not something that I am aware of, and I'm not entirely sure how someone could get nappies into female jails in order, or any prison actually, in order to carry that kind of thing out. As I say, that's not something that I would, but absolutely not. Nicola Sturgeon has not lost control of the country. Nicola Sturgeon, as I say, has put faith in the Scottish Prison Service. I had faith in the Scottish Prison Service they would come to the right conclusion over the vile rapist that was sent to prison, and absolutely the right outcome of that was they should never be allowed, to mix with the female population. Because one of the things we have to understand is in female prisons is that a lot of women who are in prison have been subject to sexual assault previous to serving in prison, and we need to actually make sure that we take into account, the rights. Women should feel safe in prison. When they're saying that, you would never find me arguing anything other than women should feel safe when they're in prison.